Where the earth bleeds fire, we have forged a landing strip. The ultimate test of engineering against nature's raw power. And inside it, China built a runway. Planes actually land there. This close to an active crater, and the heat alone should make this impossible. So how do you build a runway an active volcano cannot destroy? Let us find out.
Conditions. Building a runway is not hard. Building one inside an active volcano means fighting heat, ash, and unstable ground.
Before it becomes a runway, this ground has to survive being broken apart first. Every truck on this road is driving toward the one place most drivers would turn around from, delivering a striking statement about the extreme conditions. This rock already survived one volcano, and now it has to be reshaped to survive living inside another one. Every batch has to prove it can handle temperatures most construction material never gets close to. Alongside the volcanic rock, a special concrete is being mixed, engineered specifically to resist extreme sustained heat. Ordinary concrete would crack under this heat in minutes, and this one does not. This mix has to reach the volcano before the desert heat outside even gets a chance to cure it early. Before anything is built, they have to understand exactly how this ground behaves when it gets hot.
Every truck here is built for terrain and heat, and no ordinary construction convoy would ever attempt delivering.
There is no easy road to an active volcano, just one that gets hotter the closer you get. Even reaching the site means clearing a safety check, and most construction sites never need. Before a single truckload of concrete arrives, they have to find the parts of this crater that will actually hold still. The ground here is not solid the way it looks, and loose rock has to go before anything permanent can go down. Beneath every meter of runway, a hidden network of pipes will keep the ground underneath from ever getting hot enough to matter before anything is poured on top, and this system has to prove it can actually keep up. The first layer of runway goes down directly over the system built to protect it.
An active volcano never sits perfectly still. Every joint here has to move with it, just slightly, without ever cracking.
The first structural piece of an entire airport begins standing up inside a live volcanic crater.
Every joint here has to hold firm in conditions most construction crews never even train for. This is not rare weather here, and this is just another Tuesday. An airport begins taking shape where nothing was ever supposed to be built. Hundreds of sensors like this one will constantly watch the ground's temperature for as long as this runway exists. Even the terminal has to be positioned carefully, close enough to the runway, far enough from the most active zones, delivering the building where passengers will one day wait gets the exact same protection as the runway itself. Consistent engineering standards are applied throughout every structure. This top layer is the one that actually meets the wheels, and the one that has to survive the most heat of all. Every finished section is tested before it is approved. Nothing here gets the benefit of the doubt. Even the markings here were chosen for one reason: visibility, even through ash haze, delivering a striking statement about the deliberate, practical reasoning. For the first time, you can see exactly what this runway is going to look like from the air. Someone will eventually need to watch every landing from above, even here.
Earlier. Even the tower itself needs the same protection as the runway below it, delivering a striking statement that reinforces.
This tower does not just watch planes, it watches the volcano every second of every day.
This wall exists for one reason only: to buy time if the volcano ever decides to remind everyone it is still active.
It has to hold under conditions everyone will never specifically neared.
Protectorants. Even the lights here were engineered for a kind of weather most airports never have to plan for, delivering a striking statement about that. Behind every light and every sensor, an entire network of shielded wiring runs beneath the runway itself.
Halfway down the runway, and the volcano still has not had the final word.
Moments like this are exactly why nothing here was ever built to be rigid.
When the readings come back clear, the work continues exactly where it left off, delivering a resilient statement about
Passengers here will one day walk through a building most of them will never fully realize sits on the edge of an active crater.
Even unfinished, this place already looks like nowhere else on Earth.
Things. Every inch of this runway still passes through very human, very careful hands, directly honoring the individual craftsmanship.
Every single day here starts with the same question. Is it safe enough to keep building?
One layer of protection was not considered enough. This ground gets two. The section where planes first touch down gets extra strength, and no passenger will ever notice. Somewhere on this site, someone is always watching the one thing that could end this project in an instant.
This is the last thing any pilot will see before touching down inside a live volcano.
Even the terminal wears the same colors as the runway it serves, delivering a striking statement about the consistent visual identity established throughout this entire speculative airport complex.
After all of this, only one final stretch remains.
The very last section, poured with exactly the same care as the very first, delivering a striking statement.
And with that, the runway is finally completely whole.
From here, it is hard to believe this entire runway exists inside the same crater still smoking behind it. Even the very last section gets the same careful finish as the very first one. For the first time, the entire runway can now be monitored end to end from a single control room, delivering a good. Before anything flies here, something has to drive the entire length first, striking. Even at night, this place never fully goes dark, one way or another.
The crew that built this now leaves it exactly where the volcano let them build it.
The runway sits completely still, just it, and the volcano it was built inside.
Even inside, the same colors and the same care and the same attention to detail.
fine. Even an airport built inside a volcano still needs the same ordinary systems as any other.
Emergency response is not a formality. It is tested until everyone can do it without thinking. This tower has to track two things at once, the sky above and the ground below. A clear line drawn around the one part of the crater that is now considered safe enough to stand on. Even the wall that exists purely for worst-case scenarios gets finished with the same care as everything else.
A number painted onto ground that used to be nothing but molten rock, capturing the remarkable transformation this location has undergone. After all of this cooling systems, buffer walls, and constant vigilance, an entire airport stands complete inside an active volcano.
Before it is ever declared finished, the entire runway is checked meter by meter one final time.
For the first time, someone is officially watching this runway, ready for its very first flight.
And somewhere above it all, the volcano itself has not gone anywhere.
Even fuel storage here needed its own layer of protection. Most airports never think twice about
One last walk down the runway they spent years building before it belongs to someone else entirely.
everything is ready. Everything except the first real flight, delivering a striking statement that builds significant
Accidents. Every system, every sensor, every safety measure approved one final time, emphasizing the comprehensions.
The very first aircraft begins its approach toward the one place pilots were never trained to expect a runway, delivering. And just like that, a plane lands inside an active volcano exactly as designed. No fireworks, no big celebration, just quiet relief that it actually worked.
Even the ground crew here works with equipment built specifically for exactly this kind of heat, delivering a striking statement about
The very first passengers step out onto ground that used to be nothing but lava, a truly moving moment. Most of them will never fully understand what it took to build this, and all of them will still want to see it for themselves.
Balloons. Within weeks, what once seemed impossible becomes just another flight schedule, delivering a striking statement about this speculative
One volcano, one airport, and an uneasy, carefully engineered peace between the two. Every sunrise here rises over the same uneasy truce between fire and engineering, delivering a
This is not just concrete and heat-resistant steel. This is what happens when engineers refuse to accept that
a blazing volcano, a runway inside it, and planes that land there every single day.
This video is created for education and informational purposes using advanced AI tools and human creativity. All concepts, scripting, and storytelling are independently developed to ensure originality. Visuals and animations are generated or enhanced using AI technologies such as VO3, Meta AI, and Grok AI, while final editing and post production and completed using CapCut and other professional editing tools. No external created content has been copied or reused. Any semblance to real world environments, factories, or processes is purely coincidental. All scenes shows in this video are digitally created and do not represent real footage. This content is produced with transparency and follows YouTube monetization guidelines.